Hi, everybody. So I'm back. Um, the craziest week, man. So last Saturday, I think it was, I was filming my last video. The last one that I kept up on was for hashtag NeoPig in November was, what was it about? I need to look at the list. I'm a whole week behind. So anyway, if you go back and watch that video, just let me look it up real quick. Anybody that watched it, you might notice that I started to kind of like have some heart palpitations. I like grabbed this big crystal and I was like putting it down my bra and I was like trying to breathe. And then Monday, I went to, we have a hot springs in our area called Crystal Hot Springs. It's beautiful. It's got like the highest mineral content out of any hot springs like in the United States, and I think it's one of the highest in the world. So anyway, okay, I think it was when I was doing divination. I was filming on 11/11 for divination. And you'll see me and I like all of a sudden can't catch my breath and I just didn't feel right. And then that happened again two more times Monday after I went to Crystal Hot Springs. So I was like very relaxed. I'd been soaking in hot springs all day. And then Tuesday, just literally sitting at my desk doing nothing strenuous. Had gone to the gym that morning. And this first one that I ever had was back in September. And with that, I even had like shooting arm pain down my left arm. And I literally thought I was having a heart attack, other than the fact that you're like, no, of course I'm not having a heart attack. Like, I'm not old enough. I mean, yes, I'm overweight, but I don't have any other markers. I'm not diabetic. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have any other health issues. I'm not on any medications. Full disclosure, I did not take the jab. I know that's a very controversial thing, but it was not in alignment with who I am. And I actually have a lot of family members who did, and they're also having heart problems now. So I'm like, at first, when I was feeling like increases in heart rate and palpitations, I'm thinking, okay, I am a very super sensitive, clairsentient empath. And I'm thinking, I'm just picking up what's going on with my mom. So my mom, my stepdad, my dad, my stepmom, they all taken it all the way, up to date. All my brothers and sisters. So I have a lot of different family members that are experiencing some different side effects right now. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm just like, really picking up on something that's going on with my family members. So I didn't really think too much about it. But throughout this last couple of months, I've also started like a fitness health journey. I am trying to like pay more attention to my physical body. And I've been seeing a naturopathic doctor and started hormone replacement therapy, HRT, as well as like thyroid and stuff. And so when I had gone to him for my first consultation, I had told him about the initial like one when my arm was actually hurting in September. That was the worst one. And he was pretty, concerned about it. And he said, okay, well, if that ever happens again, you need to go right to the emergency room. So of course I did it. And of course you just don't think that's what it is. Like Saturday when I was filming that video, I was a little bit like, this is weird. I feel weird, but I didn't think that's what it was. But then when it happened for two more days in a row, I finally went to the Instacare Tuesday night and they kind of poo-pooed me and made me feel like I was, didn't know what I was talking about. Well, I did the first time that I thought it was a heart attack in September. I did go have my husband buy me one of these monitors to check because I did think maybe I have high blood pressure. And so it will check your blood pressure as well as your pulse. So luckily I had this. So when it came back on Tuesday, I was checking my resting heart rate and it was like 111, 112. Just laying down after like an hour, it was still at 111 when my resting heart rate is usually around like 85, 87. When I'm at the gym, like really busting my ass and going really hard, it might get up to like 100. So 111 is pretty elevated for me. Everybody's kind of different, but then they say like if you feel that, you should go lay down for a little bit and see if you can start feeling better. And I laid down for an hour and it was not going away. So that's why I went to the Instacare, but they were making me feel like I didn't know what I was talking about. And so I'm like, okay, great. Then I'm going to go ahead and leave. And they're like, no, we better do an EKG. And I'm like, well, it's fine, then why do I need to do an EKG? So I was arguing with the nurse at the clinic, and finally I just said, fine, great, let's do the EKG. They do it, and the doctor comes in and says, oh, well, actually, it does look like there was a such and such event. I can't remember what they called it. And I said, well, okay, what does that mean? What's a blank event? And they said, well, a mild heart attack. And we're like, oh, great. You know, my husband's sitting there with me. I'm bawling. So he said that I was going to need to go get a heart monitor, which I'm wearing now, and I need to get into a cardiologist and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, everything's racing through your head. You're just confused as to kind of like what's going on. So here I am with my heart monitor. So that's where I have been for the last week. Kind of fell off the wagon. So I'm going to do a catch up real quickly with this video, and then hopefully I can get back on track for the rest of the month. So I left off on divination, and let's see here, screenshots. I think the next one was heritage. Oh, music. I did music, so that was Rhiannon, but that was a short. So heritage, and I think I was kind of a little bit hesitant for that one too. I am a very mixed person. It's kind of a difficult heritage because I am equal parts like Mormon pioneer and Shoshone Indian or Shoshone Native American. I know that everybody says Native American now, but I always grew up from my own family members. We just would say Shoshone Indian, but now that's not a PC term anymore. So, anyways, that ancestor who's my Shoshone Native American ancestor, her name was Sally of the Shoshone, and she was basically taken by the Mormon pioneers as a guide, and then wifed up. But do I think that she wanted to be a wife? I don't think so. So it's a very uncomfortable place to be, where you are both the predator and the prey. You have direct bloodline to both. And, you know, I will say in like my healing experiences and any time that I'm ever having Reiki or crystal sessions, whether I'm doing them on somebody or having them done, I was very like triggered by a Native American type shaman type drum music. It always really triggered me, until recently. And, so it's just been kind of like a hard thing. And then, you know, through leaving the church. So that's like more of like that type of heritage. As far as like race, it's like mostly, Danish, Welsh, the Shoshone, bloodline. That's pretty, I don't know. I don't have a strong sense of culture in that way. The Mormon culture, because I was raised Mormon and I come from Mormon pioneers and I live in Utah and I've always lived in Utah, but that's not really a culture that I want to be a part of anymore. So it's kind of difficult. So that's really all I'm going to get into for heritage, because that one's just not that much fun for me. The next one was fire. So for my Western astrology, I have an Aries rising, so that's fire, and I also have a Leo moon, and I also have quite a few other fire placements. I am majority fire in my chart, and so I have a lot of fire in me, and I am quite passionate, and I think that fire shows up in me and my personality for sure. Oils was day 15, and I definitely love oils. I don't know if you guys can see like over on my wall here. This is just one of my things of oils that I have, and then I've got a bunch more everywhere else in my house. I personally have used doTERRA oils, but I live in Utah, which is literally the MLM capital of the world, which is also the home of doTERRA oils as well as Young Living. And do I think that you should like join and sell them? No, but I do think they have the absolute best oils, and I don't give a F what anybody else says. Their oils are amazing. And if you just smell even just like their lavender and compare that to other lavenders or their patchouli, they are just superior in every way. I had joined a group back in 2015-ish called Where Juniper Grows. And it was a really cool concept where you signed up, and basically instead of paying for a tarot certification or crystal healing certification, you would sign up to be part of the oil MLM. But instead of paying for the course, I got like $300 worth of oils. And on top of that, I got a crystal healing certification course and a crystal healing certification course. So, I thought it was amazing. I wish the woman still ran that group, but she doesn't. Her name was Allie. I can't remember her last name, but it was a really great opportunity. Do I think you need to be certified in tarot? No. Is that where I learned most of what I know about tarot? No, it wasn't at all. I did learn a lot in that crystal healing course though, and I thought that was really cool. And I took an aromatherapy course through her thing. There was a lot of different learning that I did, but my favorite oil is vetiver. I love vetiver, and if you've never smelt it, it can be kind of some people don't love it. I would consider it to be in the family with like patchoulis. I'm trying to find it. I don't know. I must have taken it upstairs. The only thing is very, 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 very thick. So it's very hard to get out. So you need to like if you've got an oil that you can't get out, put it in a glass of hot water, and it's just like maple syrup. As it heats up, the viscosity of it goes down. When it's cold, the viscosity is high. So it's very thick. And when you heat it up, the viscosity goes down and it makes it easier to pour. I love vetiver. I love patchouli. So yeah, I'm totally into oils. I love, dressing my candles with oils. I'm an oil girl for sure. Then was power. I didn't even think about that one. I don't even know. And honestly, I wasn't watching very many videos because I've been a little freaked out, you guys. I've been very scared, honestly. So I think my power is my authenticity. I don't ever hide. I am just who I am. I put it all out there, the good, the bad, the ugly. Even what I know is going to be not a lot of people's favorite things. I just feel like this is who I am. These are my stories and I can't change it. So why should I hide from it? I would say my authenticity and my truthfulness are my biggest power. 17 cultural influences, so many. But as far as my practice, I would say it started with the Hindu culture and through yoga, because, yoga was a gateway. And a funny story is I have signed up to take yoga teacher training twice in my life, and both times the yoga studios went out of business. So I was kind of like, well, I guess I wasn't meant to be a yoga teacher. Also, Egyptian, yeah, really the top, Eastern, a lot of Eastern influence through like the more ancient cultures of like Sumeria. I would say definitely, Judaism through the Kabbalah. So many, but I just love learning about other cultures and religions and philosophies so much. Maybe outside of my craft, but just in life, cultural influences would be Hispanic, primarily Mexican. I live, not next to a border, not next to the border per se, but pretty close. Our biggest like other cultural influence in this state is Hispanic, and I love my Hispanic friends and neighbors and the culture, and I love to visit Mexico, and I love the food, and I love the family values and just everything about the Mexican culture. So I love that. 18 Earth. Oh, which is today's. So today's is the 18th. So today is Earth, and I am a Capricorn sun, so I am Earth in that way. Okay, so my daughter came home, but that gave me time to rethink my Earth prompt. So aside from my horrible mermaid holding the world tattoo, which I got covered up like 10 years ago, now it's just a bunch of flowers. I went ahead and pulled out one of my favorite Oracle decks, which is the Dr. Stephen Farmer Earth Magic deck. Really, I usually end up using this more for like altar work, but it's a great deck. There's also a full book that goes with it that's not necessarily like for the oracle cards, but just he does have a book called Earth Magic, and I think it's free on if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't already know this, there are a ton of free books that come with an Amazon Prime membership, and that's one of the free books, I think. Pretty sure. So I thought let's do a collective reading with my Earth Magic deck for maybe this weekend, and also let's include the next week. We have Thanksgiving coming up, and I know that for myself and a lot of other healers and gifted people and chain breakers, we have difficult times with our families. So holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas can be very difficult because often we have a lot of very strained relationships, and so we're, just all going through it right now. So just collective message, collective energy for anybody watching this. And starting with Gaia. Oh my God, yes, the prompt is Earth. And we got the Gaia card, which of course, Gaia is the name of Mother Earth, right? And the keyword is nurturing. So making sure to take extra time this week to nurture yourself. Many of us were not nurtured in the ways that we wished that we would have been from our mothers. I know for me, I have a really big mother wound, and it's been very raw lately. In fact, I think a lot of what's going on with this has to do with her, but I'm not going to go down that anymore tonight. So nurturing yourself, staying grounded. While we're on the topic of that, I keep under my desk a grounding mat. And what it does is this it's plugged in, so it plugs in to just the bottom grounding port. So it just has one port, one plug. And this, so when you normally plug something and it has three, because that needs the electricity. This is just goes into the grounding port. So this you plug into that bottom hole, and it's got the copper, so it makes it conductive so that it pulls that grounding energy. And I put it under my desk and just keep my feet on this because the type of work that I do doing readings all day makes it very difficult to stay grounded. But you can put this under your pillow and sleep on it. You can, sit on it. But I think I paid maybe $20 for this or something on eBay. Just look up grounding mats. They have a lot of really cool things that can help you keep grounded. So we definitely want to be pulling in the energy of Gaia going into this holiday week. But with that said, let's just go ahead and grab the guidebook and just see if there's any other special messages in there for us. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I always have to sing the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Gaia, nurturing. Earth Mother, Mother Goddess, Great Goddess, Terra, and Gaia. In the Greek pantheon, the magnificent being was Earth personified as a goddess. Daughter of chaos, she was the mother and wife of Uranus, or heaven. It is her body that we walk upon every day, and the substance of our own bodies is the substance of hers. It's from Gaia that we receive everything we need for survival, which she provides for us abundantly, nurturing our body, mind, and soul. She nurtures our bodies by offering the fruit of the trees, the greens of the earth, and the air that we breathe. She nurtures our minds through her awesome physical and dynamic beauty, and as depicted in this card, by the amazing colorfulness and diversity of the world she's constantly creating and recreating. She nurtures our souls by caressing us with her blessings each day and challenging us to be better humans through her response to our attentions and intentions. Receiving this card can be a sacred act if your intention is to honor spirit. It is as holy as giving. It is as holy as giving when performed with a humble and open heart. This is even truer when receiving much needed nurturing. So let others give to you. That could be hard for healers. We can be really good at giving, but it's hard to receive. I know that I really struggle with that. It's hard. It may be a stretch to do so at times because of childhood conditioning, but that habit can be overcome. Your wounds can be healed. One way to achieve this is to nurture yourself and allow others to nurture you. Consider the actions you take that are self nurturing. What comes to your mind when you really think about doing beneficial things for you and for yourself? Set aside ritualized habits and beliefs that restrict the pure act of allowing your body, heart, and soul to be nurtured. Lie on the earth and ask Gaia to rock you in her bosom as you breathe with her and relax into her loving care. So today's prompt was Earth. We got the Gaia card. I wish that the camera, I got an amazing computer last year. It's an HP all-in-one. I absolutely love it. But the camera that came in it is so sensitive to light. So I'm going to be getting a new webcam soon. But make sure you take some time to nurture. And hopefully this is going to help me get back on track with the rest of the month for November. And, any positive thoughts, prayers, Reiki intentions for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay, but it is super scary going through this. And so yeah, any positive vibes are greatly appreciated. We will see this tomorrow.